let's talk about Pulse Invitational. Gen.G picking up the dub, Emily. They looked very, very good. C9 also looked good. Made it all the way to the finals, eliminating TSM.
In the thing, I'm not betting on them to do well. They do well, so thanks for that, C9.
Well, same with me and Gen.G. So I'm back in Gen.G. and they flopped at,
I would have picked TSM. But anyway, I'm actually super happy that Gen.G did well in this event. I don't know what it is about C9. I don't know if it's the fact that they, maybe stopped throwing around some more of those Sageless comps that they definitely did not look comfortable on when they were playing in their previous event, which I did attribute to a lot of their struggles, actually, is that they just kept coming out with these Sageless comps and they didn't really look super comfortable on how to play them because you are just afforded so many fewer opportunities to peak because you have no healer. You kind of have to rush in and be aggressive and know how you're going to have a formation going in, which is also why people were trying them on Ascent. Anyway, that's what I attributed a lot of their struggles to in the previous event. So it was actually really nice to see them bounce back. It's also why, because C9, I feel like our expectations, kind of similar to Gen.G, right? Like you said, Arda, our expectations for both of these teams, I feel like fluctuate dramatically based on whatever their previous performance was, because they've had tournaments where they have not performed as well, and they've had tournaments where they've exceeded expectations because they did poorly at the previous event. But C9 versus TSM is actually why, and I don't want to transition into this too early, but I know people were saying oh, is TSM sandbagging? Are they not trying as hard, et cetera, et cetera? I don't think losing to C9 is particularly bad, if that makes sense. I don't think C9 is such a bad team that we weren't expecting anything from them, that it's suddenly yes, were we expecting TSM to beat C9? Obviously, but I don't think this is as bad of a loss as people are making it out to be.
No,
I don't know though. Maybe you guys disagree, but I feel like the reaction was really overblown in terms of oh my gosh, TSM are definitely not trying for this event.
My opinion on TSM versus Cloud9 is one, Arda, I believe we brought this up on the Monday ranking shows that Sub Rosa was in chat saying we were trying out new things, and they did try new things. They put Cutler on Raze, and as Jacob would probably say, Hazed and Cutler are the washed-up duo, the old men of the team. I think they're just experienced and the veterans of the squad. So, putting Cutler on it, usually, Cutler and Hazed, usually that Cypher Sage duo, playing those Sentinels, playing those defensive roles, putting Cutler on Raze in a, high-stakes series, trying him out for the first time. That's where they were trying things. And I also think the thing that why C9 won the series is they went full Sentinels, where they played stupidly aggressive around TenZ, and they followed through with everything, and it was really fun to see where TenZ was running in with a judge just all over the map. He was just flying around with the judge, and even if it looked like a dumb play, C9 was there to back him up and trade out kills. And that's something they've been missing in other events where it seems like they've been discombobulated in terms of being synced. And I also think that just TenZ not only playing the operator role, he was playing everything. He was playing judge, he was playing phantom, he was playing operator. He was playing a new gun every single round. He played really, really aggressive, and it caught TSM off guard, where it felt like at times they just didn't know where TenZ would be, and TenZ would just pop up with a shotgun and kill them all. And that's kind of how the series went, where they never really found a grasp on TenZ, where compared to Gen.G, who came in versus TenZ, and TenZ played that same aggressive style. They were still playing that aggressive style, and Gen.G had them on lock, and TenZ couldn't do any of the stuff he was doing against TSM. He tried to bring out the judge, and it got shot down every single time, and he just got slapped down. So I think they surprised TSM a bit. I do like this new aggressive style, where I think a lot of NA teams are playing a lot more aggressive, especially Gen.G, putting out the not only with Win playing Jet for the first time and Gamon playing Phoenix. He had a great Phoenix tournament. So I like the more aggression to kind of match TSM's aggression. But I just think when it came to the Gen.G series, that Gen.G had a good plan to play against TenZ, because the Judge Jetty, as our friend Simo coined, was very good versus TSM, but it did not look as sharp against Gen.G.
I asked, speaking of trying out new things, I actually asked TSM's head coach Tailored about the Sageless comps, not just on Ascent, but we also saw it on Bind in this tournament. So I asked him, are we phasing out Sage? Like, are you finding that the utility is nerfed to the point where other agents are more useful in your comps? And he said, there's a lot of reasons for this. The main one on Ascent is what we wanted to try a comp with 2 smoke characters, so we knew that before. I've seen teams in scrims start phasing Sage out as of late. She's still quite strong on certain maps positions, and she only gets 1, maybe 2 useful heals a game. Ascent and Bind are least viable for her, but mostly Ascent. So we might see Sage less, but still a viable character. Emily, you actually did the percentages you did the Vitality Open, right?
I haven't. Yeah, I was looking at Vitality Open because Fabricant are kind of the like. I'm sorry, they're doing construction upstairs, but like,
it's a Valorant party. Let's go.
Right? Like that's just the smokes above my apartment. I think so Fabricant were kind of the first team to really bring this to the forefront in Europe. Which is why I was tracking it through the Vitality Open, and there was a pretty interesting spread of Sageless comps. She's still incredibly viable, but she was pretty much neck and neck with Raze in terms of pick rate, right under Cypher, who's now previously you couldn't have a composition without Sage. Now you cannot have a composition without Cypher. But we saw, to his point, we saw in the Pulse Invitational, to also back up the point that Tyler was talking about being super aggressive to match C9's aggression around 10s. Gen.G ran a Sageless comp on Ascent using the double smokes from Omen, Brim, and then Phoenix for entry, and it worked out really, really well. So, I mean, NA loves, if there's anything to come out of the Vitality, putting Vitality and Pulse side by side, it's that NA does not like Breach for whatever reason.
Except Shazam.
They love Phoenix. Yeah, exactly. Shazam is the only exception.
Shazam loves Breach, but NA's Phoenix. We like the Phoenix
and then
play.
Europe hates Phoenix.
Yeah, they hate Phoenix.
And love Breach. So it's very interesting. If there's one, now that both regions are trying out Sageless comps, if there's one major compositional difference between EU and NA, it's that.
Yeah.